Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Associated Guest. I, as always, am your host, Alfie Animus, here at the Bear in Mind channel. Today, we got a lot to get into. But we're basically just gonna go through the latest Lord Nuxanor video and see what's going on. Starting with people posting shit online and what the difference between free speech and calls to violence is, and a lot of people are finding out. Let's watch.
And things are moving in the right direction. Now, speaking of people that really don't like Trump ops getting obliterated, no one is a bigger Trump op than this guy, Cold Force. You might not recognize Cold Force's account. Cold Force is the guy that attempted to assassinate Trump last week. All right, the guy that
attempted very poorly, but attempt nonetheless.
He's in jail for the rest of his life. And this is him saying, how did he get shot with no scar? How did he get shot with no scar?
Like, you can clearly see a weird ridge
the
there.
level of delusion the left is playing with, and I think.
But again, you can see the scar better from this side. Like, you can clearly see that there's like a little scar tissue right there. But you can take all the photos and all the stills that you want to prove your point. And this is one reason the right does it too, but the left does it a lot more. And this is why I can't fuck with the left like I used to, is because they'll tell the truth. I had an example of this. Some dick nugget was let me see if I can find it real quick. I really got to start tagging my own responses for shit. Hold on. I can find it. I know I can. Believe. Oh yeah, just to show you how Delulu some of these people are. So the horseshoe theory is alive and well. And then me and this fuck nugget go through a whole, and then Kyle Kalinske getting in on things, of course, saying, one man wants to deport all immigrants, the other wants people to have health care. Bacon Bits boy. And I was like, you're standing up for a guy who had an actual Nazi tattoo less than a year ago. And then Sexiest, who I'm assuming is a giant fat man with hairy tits, said, I'd rather a guy with a Nazi tattoo over a guy with no Nazi tattoo but believes and spreads Nazi ideology. I thought he was talking about Trump, but for some reason he's talking about Tucker Carlson. Like we're comparing these two. The whole conversation was about how they're talking and how the horseshoe right's coming back around and they're basically twinsies. And I was like, of course, however, considering you're who you follow on here, and this is in response to me replying to Kyle Kalinske reply, you probably label anyone to get to the right of Kyle a Nazi, so your opinion literally means nothing. Of course, you can straw man me instead of engaging with the point. There was no point. So your opinion means less than nothing, you fucking retard. Apparently, it's okay for the left to say retard. You didn't say who you were talking about. You were just went straight to Nazi ideology. But you, like most people who refer to anything you don't like as Nazi ideology, you not only didn't make a point to engage with, you skipped straight over a guy who got an actual Nazi tattoo done in Germany and went to someone you perceive as a Nazi, of course, because you're a gullible sheep who fancies himself enlightened, or grifter, in which case you're even worse. I didn't say who I was talking about. The two men in the photograph, Graham and Tucker. You fucking stupid are you? Tucker Carlson spreads Nazi ideology. Look, I don't like Tucker, but he doesn't spread Nazi ideology, okay? He spreads Islam, which some would say is worse. And that's just said, sure, buddy. And then he called me a retard, and that's basically it. Look, this guy's a grifter or a retard. It's a little fun at first. Got a lot of not a whole lot of engagement, but for me, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Okay. But It's funny. My responses got as much, if not more, engagement than his responses. But anyway, continue.
Thinks this is
Sorry,
perfect because I've said for a
I can't
long
find the
time,
one I was thinking of.
the left uses words to manipulate and control you. They don't actually believe in literally fucking anything. They have zero moral framework, zero moral grounding, zero moral system, and therefore they use words to manipulate and control you. So this is an actual Donald Trump assassin claiming the other assassination must have been staged, because the left is so peaceful, and this guy was an assassin. In our magical age, you get attempted assassins who think previous assassination attempts were staged. Now, the thing is, none of them actually believe this. They all know it's real. They just say these things because it's all part of the giant psyop. You're right? So, like, for example, I think at this point we all agree that George Floyd's death was staged, and Derek...
Here it is. This is the one I was thinking of. This guy... Never forget, Mike Lee posted this, and a lot of people have been commenting. This guy said, never forget an immigrant woman was killed by an American citizen in a red state. And to which I said, in a dark blue city, thanks to the dark blue judge and policies of that city, it's supposed to be both of. Damn it, it's too late for me to change it. This is why you don't do respond to things in the middle of the night. Both of our statements are technically true. How did I miss that much sentence? Mine is more accurate. Do better, yeah. Like, this is a true statement, but it completely misses the point. And this just shows how people can skew anything, and they can and this is how they get by with leaving huge amount of details, because lies by omission. It's not technically lying because you're also technically telling the truth when you report the news this way, which is how both sides, but especially the left, report the news. They leave out the parts that makes their side look bad, and they only include the parts that makes the other side look bad or their side look good. It's absolutely insane. But what this guy doesn't say is that, yes, he was an American citizen. Yes, she was an immigrant. However, the guy had been arrested 17 times before this for nearly or equally violent outburst. And he got off on this one too. He's back on the street because he was, hey, Yanuka, he's put back on the street because people found him unfit to stand trial. Then why is he fit to walk among us? That's my biggest thing. And this has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with immigration status. Okay? Like this and the Charlie Kirk thing. And I think this happened, 2 weeks before Charlie passed? It's just heartbreaking. The second she realizes she's done for. This is why I don't go out anymore, because people are absolutely horrible. It's nuts. Anyway, continuing.
Was probably paid by the Democratic Socialists of America.
But yeah, and sorry, one more thing. Just pay attention to all the news that you hear. It's like Foamy the Squirrel used to say, and I know this goes beyond Foamy the Squirrel, but it's where I heard it, and it's where it really took off with me. Believe half of what you see and nothing that you hear. Do your own research. Find out for yourself. If you care so much, find out. And preferably not after fucking around.
America to kill this random black guy as some part of some gigantic psyop to push the Black Lives Matter things and steal the election. I think that's fairly obvious. Almost as obvious as how Jan 6 was actually staged by FBI agents and the deep state that organized that. See, we could play this game as well. So I think this image is just absolutely perfect. It really is. Now, to understand that things are happening, and this is why people like Hasan Piker are absolutely shitting themselves every time he gets roasted on Fox News, Logan Murfin, 26, of Skiatook, Oklahoma, convicted April 24th on 10 felony charges. Get ready. Related to X posts about gunning down ICE personnel. We are finally at that stage. It took like a year to get here, but we're finally at the stage of arresting people that are actually making terroristic threats. These are not protected by freedom of speech, like I've been screaming about for like a year now, and finally the arrests are coming in for tweets. Oh my god, but they're arresting people for tweets? When the tweets are bomb threats and threats to gun down ICE agents and shit, that's not protected speech. And the left, like, they always twist things. I thought you were a free speech absolutist. Speech that incites violence is not free speech.
And that's in Oklahoma. That's a suburb of Tulsa, which Tulsa's a lot like my hometown. It's very small, and there's literally nothing else to do. Everyone there is pretty much either a country stereotype, or they're exactly what they see on TV on like CW shows. It's some of the most indoctrinated thinking I've ever seen in my life. I love them to death. I've known them forever, but my God, it's just like Tulsa's got a little more to do. But most of the people from my hometown move to Tulsa and Northwest Arkansas and just meet other dipshits, and then shit like this happens. He actually looks familiar.
Finally, the arrests are coming in for tweets. Oh my god, but they're arresting people for tweets.
I don't know
when the
anyone
tweets
with
are
a stupid
bomb
last name
threats
like
and
Murphin,
threats
but
to gun down ICE agents and shit, that's not protected speech. And the left, like, they always twist things. I thought you were a free speech absolutist. Speech that incites violence is not free speech.
It's not.
It never was, and it never will be. All right, ICE also in San Francisco arrested Daniel Barber on April 10th in connection with an email death threat made towards ICE Director
nice big
Todd
titties.
Lyons and other ICE personnel. So, again, guy makes a death threat online, bam, jail. So all these dipshits and retards that were really comfortable for like the last year, they thought there were no consequences coming. They were really comfortable going out there and saying all sorts of shit about killing Trump and ICE agents and Rick Scott and anybody else that they
and this is really important. I don't want anyone. I want anyone who arrested who is making death threats towards anybody. Again, actual death threats. And a lot of these people say, oh, it was parody, or, oh, I said, like Hasan Piker saying 5 seconds later, oh, in a video game. In a video game is what I meant. Like, come on. Plus, anyone with a brainstem should be able to look and see clearly, regardless of whether they're on your side of the political divide or not. If someone is actually trying to be quote-unquote funny, or if they're just trying to be edgy dipshits. Like, there are ways to make just about anything funny, but it's all about when and where you say it. I don't like to say edgy things for the sake of being edgy. I'm just kind of like offensive naturally, but even I, like, depending on who it is, or even so, like if I know, like, someone's funeral, if they wanted a roast and they at their funeral or whatever, their wake or whatever it's called, I would totally be down 100%. I hope people do the same for mine, as long as there's some point where we all just take like 5 minutes to just, talk about something that's actually good, and then, fuck off, go drink or whatever we have to do to get over.
Don't like, right, all those retards. Oh, the shit is hitting the fan, and it is beautiful. It is glorious. It really is. Now, again, let's just be clear.
Oh, it's Steady Bin Laden Piker.
The shoe is on the other head, as they say. Donald Trump is finally going after these dipshits, and it's really not looking good for them.
For far too long, we've been told you have to vote for harm reduction. We all know the Republicans are corrupt. We all know that they're monsters. They're racist.
I wonder why they kill Republicans.
Traffic in hatred. But we are here to say we are no longer going to vote for do-nothing Democrats either. We're voting for Democrats with a purpose.
That's right. So Hasan Piker, who was called to kill Republican lawmakers multiple times in the past, as well as landlords and Zionists and anybody else that he doesn't like. All right, so this guy who's calling for violence all the time, and Consequences will catch up to him. You'll see. It'll happen. It's inevitable. I'll be there to make a video on it when it does happen. Definitely subscribe. All right, so
Definitely subscribe. And I will definitely be here to watch it. And who knows? Hopefully, maybe even do a collab. I'm just saying.
this dipshit over here is going on rallies. You know, Republicans are all racist monsters, and we have to vote for the Democrats that will fucking rape our country raw. In other words, the foreigner class of communists and socialists that are coming in to destroy our nation understand exactly what this actually means. Now, the funny thing is, the dissident right, the Trump ops on the right, are also falling apart. So Tucker Carlson went on a New York Times, again, unbelievable how he immediately jumped to like going on
but Tucker
leftist
Carlson
podcasts.
is the
Right,
most...
so Tucker Carlson on the New York Times to slam
He's the
Trump,
best one out
and
there.
He literally destroyed himself here.
What I was saying, which is you cannot mock other people's gods.
Right, so this is him crashing out and crying and screaming about how Donald Trump is insulting
You can,
Islam.
though. You can.
Now, this is obviously
That was always
ridiculous
allowed.
and bullshit. Again, I thought Tucker Carlson was a Christian. Elijah, the prophet, all right, he mocked other people's gods all the time. He said to the pagans, pray to your god Baal. Let's see if he'll save you. Well, Baal did not, in fact, save them. I don't know if Tucker Carlson thought that for some reason Trump was a holier man than Elijah, but I personally think it's because Tucker Carlson just really loves Islam.
And put yourself in their place. Period. That is a deal killer for me. That's worse than the war with Iran, in my opinion.
So, making fun of Islam is worse than the war with Iran. Understand the level of bullshit dookie this man is pooping down the throats of America every day.
But I ask because, you know, you've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
I've never said
On your
that.
show the day after Easter, you noted he did not put his hand on the Bible during his swearing-in
Correct.
ceremony as president. You said, and I'm quoting, maybe he didn't put his hand on the Bible because he affirmatively rejects what's inside that book. And then on a recent show, you went further saying, here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist? Here's a leader
I did not say that.
who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
Imagine
What?
getting
What
skewered
was
by
that?
the New York fucking
Hold on,
Times.
let's hear that one
I
more time.
actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist? Here's a leader
I did not say that.
who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods,
He's mocking the God of gods.
and exalting
Oh!
himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
Yep.
Imagine
It's undeniable.
getting skewered by the New York fucking
That he said it,
Times.
not that he's the
Bro
Antichrist.
got ended by libtards. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that is bad.
No, exactly. I would much rather someone not swear on a book that they don't believe in. However, at the same time, I don't want someone to swear in on the Quran just because it says that you can lie, cheat, and steal as long as you do it because you think that you're serving your God. Whereas the Judeo-Christian God doesn't want you to do those things. But again, I would much rather someone not be a hypocrite. But at the same time, if he's not religious, I would rather him not bring up religion, at least in the way that he does, that he's saying he's doing God's work. I mean, he may very well be. And he's just, like me, he's doing what's right by his parents and such. Like, I'm not particularly religious either. But I do respect, you know, everything that's supposed to be sanctified by such. I don't desecrate mosques or synagogues or churches or cathedrals or anything because it's wrong. It's not anything that I would want. It's not anything that I would want on my soul. But I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, I'm not here to talk about religion, but it's just I don't know. I don't like when people use their religion as a cudgel, but they only use it to serve their own ends most of the time. They're not doing it for God. They're doing it for themselves. You know, like Southern Baptist. I don't have any more adjectives, just Southern Baptist.
Well, Who knows?
In the
I don't know
Bible
where
Belt.
that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips because
They did.
I'm not sure I fully understand what the Antichrist is. If there's just one, I actually tried to understand it.
Right, yes.
I may have said some are asking that. I'm not
no.
weighing in on that because I
You?
don't understand it.
No,
Just
no,
to
of
be
course
No,
totally
in
not.
clear.
Revelations, obviously, the
Yeah. So anyway, that is.
You should play.
All right, so
and this
anyway,
is
Donald Trump's
why
good.
with the technology that we have now, you can literally just cue it up and play it in front of their faces for them. You should do that. But
the Antichrist because he insulted Islam, which he then walks back, which is not true. Again, these people are literally killing themselves on the public square. Now, if you want to look at who Hasan Piker's actual audience is right now, because it's obviously not normal people on the right that actually want America to be a prosperous nation, a nation that actually fights against demonic entities, all right, as opposed to a nation that immediately embraces the third worldisms and fake gods and demons of whoever the fuck shows up on our shores. All right, let me introduce you to Hasan. They're all the same people. Let me introduce you to Tucker Carlson's new audience. Mehdi Hasan, terrorist Islamist supporter guy.
These days, Tucker Carlson has a big fan base amongst the anti-war left, who see him as saying the right stuff, trying to stop.
Anti-war left basically means the Islamists that want to conquer America. Let me just translate that for you.
I mean,
they're not
pretty
actually
much,
anti-war.
yeah.
They're just anti-wars that they lose.
Trump from illegal wars in Iran, and amongst a lot of Muslims and Arab Americans who see him now as this great champion of Palestine.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The new audience of Tucker Carlson, from based right-wing conservative guy to a champion of third world Islamists.
Wherever I go, literally, Hassan, wherever I go in this country, I do a lot of live events. I do a lot of public events. People come up to me, when are you going on Tucker Carlson? When are you going to do an event with Tucker Carlson? Why don't you do a collab with Tucker Carlson? We love Tucker Carlson. Wherever I go. People ask me more about Tucker Carlson, even in my own family, than they ask me about my wife and kids.
Congratulations,
Well,
Tucker
no-
Carlson.
no one cares
You
about your wife
traded,
and kids,
I
or
guess,
you.
conservative Christian Americans for third world Islamists that want to conquer America and see you as being a very useful or paid idiot. Very cool. Well, he's not the only one that had this situation happen. So Sean Ryan runs a very popular podcast. I've seen some clips of him, and I like him, sort of. So he just did a show with Cenk Uygur. Because he's also, again, he's anti-Trump, because Trump is killing people in Iran. Terrorists are...
And hold on, real quick, before we get into chunky yogurt, let's check out this poor. So this lunatic just runs
a
up
random unprovoked stabbing in Melbourne.
and
A woman
stabs this
attacked from
random
behind
person in the
by
neck.
Another woman with a knife.
She
and
looks
left
like a
with
sensible
punctured
person.
lung. It happened here on Little Burke Street, just near Spencer Street, as the 36-year-old victim was walking to work at 7:35 a.m. She
Man,
ended
look at
up
those
in
teeth.
hospital for 3 days and had been living in an apartment nearby for years, but today is moving house.
Good.
Because since the October
Move.
2 stabbing, she has become a recluse.
Stop
CCTV
Asian hate.
captured the attacker running off down Spencer Street with her blade still out. Police say she was on bail for other offences at the time. Others rushed in to help the victim, and police were there minutes later. A 32-year-old suspect has been arrested and charged. Police also believe they have recovered the knife. Full details tonight, 7 News at 6.
That's horrible. And as far as we've seen so far, it is just a random attack, which makes this all the scarier. Usually if it's a targeted attack, I mean, it's pretty scary and it's pretty out there and wrong. But I don't know, man. Just people randomly attacking people and how much more it is. I don't know. I really think the trans genocide is going to be them committing genocide on just everyone else and just killing random people, as it seems, so much as the other way around, which even that one is mostly actually entirely done by their own hands, because as far as I've seen, you don't see really any stories. I'm sure there are some of people killing a trans person because they're trans. Just haven't seen it.
are dying in Iran, and it's all Trump's fault. And so now he's doing shows with Cenk Uygur. This is the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen in my entire life. The same Cenk Uygur that says that Christians are fascists and everything wrong with America. All right, the same Cenk Uygur that hosts the Young Turks,
I used to believe the
who
same
now
thing.
everyone thinks is based because they hate Israel. All right, now they're based. Oh, hell yeah, dude. All right, well, let's see what the Young Turks has been pushing out.
A new survey indicates that white Christians are, for the first time, a minority in the United States. Well, first time since whites came and basically did their colonial thing. But anyway,
There was no United States. So,
Yeah.
true. For the first time since the United States, there was no United States before the white people came to America.
And wiped out everyone
and
else.
wiped out everyone else, exactly.
That's not what happened.
Now, the survey that was done
But white people are bad. Let me remind you.
Yeah.
by
This is Tucker Carlson and Sean Ryan's new audience that they are bridging.
Public Religion Institute.
Mind you, Christians go around trying to convert people. Yes, it's true. They don't forcefully push people into religion anymore. They don't. They just don't. You have free will, and you don't have to do it. Your parents being a little, oppressive or whatever, is not the same thing. Parents do that no matter what. I mean, just look how they're pushing the trans thing. But Islam is the most colonial religion, or some would say the only colonial religion there is. I mean, just look at what's happening. This is their 100-year plan. For people who are on average, 70 IQ, at least from the Middle East, not here, but at least from the ones from the Middle East who are part of this whole 100-year plan thing. I mean, it's absolutely insane that they'll travel everywhere and just multiply like crazy because, incest is fine.
Actually talked to over 100,000 people in the U.S., and the whole point was to find out whether or not there are differences in religious leanings and what the minorities and majorities are in regard to religious affiliation. Here's what they found. White Christians, once predominant in the country's religious life, now comprise only 43% of the population.
And suspiciously, all of society got a lot worse since this happened. Probably a coincidence.
Just to give you an example of what that population used to be like, 4 decades ago, about 8 in 10 Americans were white Christians.
Heartbreaking. We need a revival ASAP.
That is half. It used to be 80%, now it's 43%. That is a giant difference in 4 decades. And that is,
celebrating.
by the way, exactly why we're seeing the overreaction from the right wing that we are today.
It's
They're
not
in a
an
panic.
overreaction.
Oh my God, our time is almost up. We used to rule everything, and soon everybody will be equal. Ah!
Yeah,
That's-
so these are
that's
the
not
people
what this
that are
is.
now being introduced to the right wing.
And look, I've got no love for Christians or the whites or anything. I am right. Anna will say it, but yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. But it can't be off limits to talk about Islam or trans or anything like that, and then just be perfectly fine to make fun of Christians or straight people. I mean, I understand power and power structures and the whole thing, but it just makes the left look like a bunch of hypocrites. And this is one of the things that I can't stand. So when I was stationed in Hawaii, so haole means outsider, and a friend of mine, mixed, half white, half black, lesbian, now trans, came to stay with me for a little bit. Had nowhere else to go. Had pretty much ruined all her at the time ties where she was staying. Asked if she could come stay with me. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And came and was just a big old layabout. Would not get a job, nothing. I mean, to be fair, it was my fault. I never asked because you just assume that people will get jobs and pull their weight. Not so much with this one, imagine. But I was dating this girl who was originally from Madagascar. And we were hanging out with, all 3 of us, and then my girlfriend at the time, his best friend, who was also from Madagascar. And then all of a sudden, they just start calling the best friend and my friend just start calling me Howley. Like they won't. It just comes out of nowhere, and they won't stop. And I'm like, what are you doing? And like, oh, it's not fun when it's you, is it? And I'm just like, I've literally never ostracized anyone like this. I don't know where this is coming from. And I was like, technically, I mean, you're half white and you're an outsider. Like we're all outsiders here. None of us are Native Hawaiian. And they're like, well, that's different because we're not white. And I'm just like, and then she said, had the nerve to say, and then I'm a lesbian. So like, that's even more. And that was like the first time I was introduced to the oppression Olympics right there. But yeah, it was, and like, I hadn't done anything. Like I'd been an ally my entire life. You know, I have all kinds of gay friends. Most of my friends are black. It's absolutely insane. And then for this person who I've done nothing but try to help, at one point her girlfriend went to jail and she came to me crying. She's like, oh, can you help? And I had enough put aside. I was like, yeah, sure. She's like, I'll pay you back, I promise. Never paid me back. And again, it's something that I would have given. But when you say that you're going to do something, I expect you to do it. Okay, I make a habit of not being a welcher. If I say I'm going to do something, I try my damnedest to do it. And I fail sometimes, but I do my damnedest not to. And I try my best to treat everyone with the same dignity and respect that I want to be treated with. Do I make fun of my friends? Yes. Do we joke on a level that would seem horribly offensive to a lot of these people? Absolutely. But I love my friends. I'm a very, very loyal person. And if I consider you a friend, it's like Luffy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do just about anything. Or Doc Holliday from Tombstone, if that's a better reference for you. But I don't know, man. Sorry, a little bit of a tangent, but Jewish are weird in this regard. I mean, they were oppressed, genocide and stuff, but they always find their way to success. No, exactly. And it's one of those things, like the Jews as a whole are some of the most oppressed people in the world. And they're a global minority. There's I think 30 million of y'all. If is that accurate? I'm sorry. I'm assuming you're Jewish because you're Israeli. But yeah, like is the Israelis or the Jews or whatever as a whole are a global minority, both on the religious and the global populace scale. 16 million. Yeah, I knew it was low. Damn, that's half as much as I was thinking. 16 million. And then that's what I'm saying. And a lot of people who are born Hebrew or whatever are secular Jews. So like maybe I would say probably half of that are because most of the Jewish people I know are secular Jews that they aren't practicing. I'm ethnically, is that ethically or ethnically? You believe in Jesus, though. Okay. Well, I mean, I've seen groups like when I was thinking about converting to Judaism, I mostly because my hair was really curly, calicky more, but apparently it was a little too Jewy for some parts of Arkansas, and I got bullied and such for being Jewish. I almost got jumped at a gas station in southern Arkansas because of that. So it's just always kind of been a thing. That and I've had a couple of instances where my black friends would kick all the white people out of the room except for me, and they're like, "Well, why does Alfie get to stay here?" It's just like, because Alfie gets it. Okay, he's Jewish. And I was like, okay. So it just kind of became a thing. I just kind of, people used to call me like JB and a bunch of other stuff, like, you know, Jew boy. Anyway, sorry. Enough of that. No, I figured you meant ethnically, but, you know, I never want to assume.
In conservative
Anyway,
base, These people gleefully celebrating the downfall of Christianity in America, white people in America. I mean, it's pretty obvious, actually. Now, the crazy thing is, here you have Nick Fuentes, right? And it's like, oh, he's going to actually be like, I know that he's anti-Trump right now because of the war with Iran, and he wants Iran to remain, and he's happy that Iran is massacring their own people and stuff like that. Like, I've showed those clips in the past, right? But there's no way he's just going to say that Trump stopping immigration is a bad thing, right? Like, he closed the border. There's net negative migration in the United States for the first time in like 50 plus years. There's no way that sucks, right?
So the guy said, yeah, we need to focus on H-1Bs and immigration. I'm like, H-1Bs? Dude, we're 50% non-white. It's cooked.
What?
Immigration.
H-1Bs is a massive problem that we're bringing in basically unskilled labor so that they could come here into this country, they could breed here, their children become birthright citizens, and their culture is slowly but surely eating away at ours. I think that's a pretty big deal.
That's the only issue. I'm going back to bed.
He does not care about immigration anymore. Nick Fuentes, I can't believe this dude. Now, I am more radical on immigration than Nick Fuentes. Are we on the same page? This guy's
crazy.
supposed to be the white nationalist guy. What are we doing over here? How am I more of a white Christian nationalist? I'm not even Christian, and I'm more of a Christian nationalist than Nick Fuentes right now. What is going on?
People are talking about remigration, mass deportations.
That's a big deal.
Yes,
if
please.
that's the struggle, I'm going back to bed.
What?
Is my DoorDash here yet? I'm going back to bed.
All right, I can't wait to hear what he's actually worried about. The actual main issue.
Wake me up when the nuclear war starts. Wake me up when the third temple is finished. That's the only thing keeping me going. We are in a war.
That's right.
We are in a pitched battle against the children of Esau. That's all there is. That's all there is. That's all that matters anymore. Is that the Christians are in a war with the children of Esau. It's Rome and Jerusalem. Rome
What are we doing?
and Jerusalem.
What are we
That's
doing?
it. That is all that matters.
This is why people call him a Democrat plant. For the record, I don't think he is, but this is why people call him that. Because here we got a guy who's like, actually, I don't care about immigration. I don't care about infinite retards pouring into our country. I don't care about any of that. The Jews are trying to build a temple in Israel, and that is much more important. What are we doing?
That is the battle. So if you're not talking to me about the new Roman Empire and the new temple and the new Jerusalem, frankly, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, obviously, that is the only thing that matters right now, and it's not like immigration, nothing else matters, the economy, having children, making families. None of that is relevant whatsoever. The only thing that we need to talk about is New Rome and New Jerusalem in this apocalyptic war for some reason, which isn't really going on, by the way. And ironically, the people in Israel are actually the children of Israel, not Esau, his brother. But anyway, maybe I missed that chapter. This is pretty wild stuff, I'm not going to lie. So Nick Fuentes' Groypers, his guys, made an America First event where they got like all these epic guys to speak in this incredible event of all sorts of important people coming together. One nation, no division, different parties, one country, America First. Basically to make a new movement where they're going to get people on the right and people on the left, as long as they hate Israel, they could work together to make a new party to take over. And it's like, whoa, this is huge. They got like 6 guys to show up at their event. So obviously, with millions of followers on social media.
I agree with the basic premise, just not what they believe in. We do need, again, we should have maybe 3 or 4 main parties here. It should not be the word the better of two evils. I'm so sick of that because they keep giving us the biggest dipshits. And then the third parties are basically just whoever didn't make the cut in that. It's not someone good who was cut out early, and I know I keep bringing Tulsi Gabbard up because she went kamikaze on, she was taken out by the DNC after she took Kamala Harris out of the primary in 2020. But anyway, weird side tangent here. I hate this. It says way hotter than twerking. It's just as stupid. Like, in theory, I understand why people think it's hot, but at the same time, it's only hot if she's actually hitting something while doing this. If she's not hitting a target or a bullseye, then she's just spraying into a general direction, and God only knows where some of these bullets are going. Okay? Like, that's, yeah. Like, this is just negligence. This is a big no-no. Like I said, if she's actually hitting something, then sure. It's, sorry. like sure, a chick with a gun. I love a good warrior woman, but if she's actually hitting something, otherwise hold the gun like a normal person and actually hit something. Dick nuts.
And 10 people showed up to fight for this America First. But I like, this is honestly some of the most embarrassing shit in the world. So again, to understand what's actually going on, they managed to make some sort of alliance, and of course it's just full of Muslims. It's full of like Muslims, and these Docs ICE people are now working with the base right-wing people that are working because they're single voter issues. They just don't like Israel. It's so bad for them, man. Bro, what are we doing here, man? This is your based right-wing party, bro. Anyway, my way works better. My way works really well. I acknowledge that Donald Trump is essentially an old-school Democrat, but I also acknowledge that he is shattering the Overton window, and give us a couple of election cycles where we keep amassing more and more power under actual based new generation right-wing people throughout the country, and we will have some sort of religious and based as fuck revival in this country, and we're going to take it back from these fucking heathens, and it's going to actually be awesome. So yeah, terrible day for Trump ops, not gonna lie. Just honestly devastating. Now, the overall Democrat Party is in absolute shambles now. People are actually finally getting arrested. It's really nice to see. And they're basically putting all of their cards, they're stacking the deck behind their actual dark horse candidate to win the 2028 election, Kamala Harris.
And Kamala Harris delivers a speech.
Oh, yeah.
I think I did see.
Oh, yeah. It's finally time. It's finally time for a woman to run.
Oh, my God.
I don't think so, because if you thought no kings rallies were a thing.
No kings?
No kings. It worked. It worked. We don't have a king anymore, guys. Success.
Yeah, success. We don't have that thing we never had.
Are you really sleeping when there's a black woman speaking? Honestly, shame. Shame.
I mean, his hair won't even grow. That's how asleep this man is.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I can't believe Jabba would just fall asleep like that in front of the president of the next Dude, please run Kamala Harris again. Please. Please, Kamala. Please.
I would say that, but I really don't want her to win, and I don't know who the other side's putting up.
Wow.
Like, look at
Jabba.
like that hair, man.
Style.
Dude.
Bro, she got like 10 votes in the room with her.
He's out.
You know, we dropped the ball. And
He about to drop his whole self.
although we've done the good work.
Is this the first Kamala Harris ASMR video? It's just literally her talking?
Yeah. Oh, what do you want? Pushback? Wait, you want someone to actually give her a pushback? She refused to go on Joe Rogan's podcast, okay? She's cooked, bro. It's over.
He's just holding his
I love how everyone knows that this is an absolute nightmare, and it's only getting worse from here.
saxophone. And she's the favorite to win the primary right now. I know
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So Kamala
Oh,
Harris is
yeah.
going to run again.
Let's go,
2008
dude.
presidential primaries.
Oh, there it is.
Kamala Harris is at 50%. So this is the problem. They
Yeah.
can't run Josh Shapiro
Jewish.
because he's a Jew.
True.
You can't
Yeah,
run
that's
Gavin
true.
Newsom because he's both white and
True.
a man.
True,
You can't
true.
run AOC because she's too
Retarded.
young. You
Oh.
can't run Pritzker
Fat.
because he's fat.
True.
You're stuck with Kamala Harris.
Yep, that's right.
Really,
Ew.
that's the way it
That's how it
works. And Pete Buttigieg isn't even on the
Yay,
list. I wonder why.
yay.
Why
Oh,
could
but
that
gay.
possibly be?
Black voters, 0.
Democrat frontrunner has 0% black support. She's drinking again.
I think it's
Bro,
okay
it's
for
so
us
bad.
to be a bit transactional too, and to say I'm gonna get.
Can you imagine this person as
That
the
code
president of the
switching.
United States?
I
Can
would
you
rather
imagine
not. Please,
our
no.
great nation having this thing as a leader?
Mine also.
Isn't that how she started her career?
And so don't count on me to be a voter and be the backbone of the Democratic Party, because it is my value system and my ethics and my sense
You don't
of
have
civic
either of
duty
those.
and responsibility.
You don't have that
To
either.
look at-
That's right.
You're passing her up on this too, which is what's so crazy. Run again? Run again?
Yes,
Please run again.
Do it. Yes.
I mean, I would laugh. I would have a lot of material, and I kind of wanted to win just so I could have material.
I'm a Democrat, and I want to kill myself. No, I'm sorry.
How much I want her to run again.
It'll be awesome.
So are you going to run again in 28?
Listen, I might.
Oh.
I might. I'm thinking about it.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
thinking
Oh,
about
I've been thinking about it, y'all.
Right, you see, people on the right are constantly destroying each other over all sorts of power struggle shit. You know, Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and Candace Owens thinks that Sumerian Israeli time travelers are using Egyptian planes to kill people with X-Men powers in the past. All right, and you know, and we're still gonna win. We're still gonna win because look at our fucking opponents, and it's bad for all of them. Right? So Gavin Newsom goes on the most softball interview of all time with Bill.
Hold on, before we get into that, Neil deGrasse Tyson. So he says, so sorry, before I do this, everything is a conspiracy when you don't understand how anything works. It is astounding. Nah. Like, cause this guy came out in favor of the whole trans movement. It's. I can't wait to see all the backlash I'm going to get for this one. I will get a lot. But AOC and others are not much better. No, AOC is awful. Like, she is purely performative. Like, I knew it even before the photo op where she was crying at a fence, looking like she was looking at the people inside the fence, but she was really just looking at the parking lot. That was fun. That girl is all grift. Her whole existence is a lie. She's not from, what would she say? She's from the Bronx. She's Alexandria from the Bronx when she's actually from some suburb like an hour out. Come on.
Bill Maher, another libtard. Right, so this is generic libtard white guy on generic libtard white guy's show. Right, and he still gets destroyed.
He's not doing anything to try to unite this country. In
Neither are you.
Oh, he should unite with the people constantly trying to assassinate him. I love the talking point.
Or form, and you know, for me, that's to me that's the biggest reflection of this moment is how.
Yeah, I don't believe in uniting with evil. I believe in destroying
Gavin Newsom
evil,
is trying to be
actually,
Team
I don't
Trump.
care.
Just the sewer that
I'm not a fan of uniting with people trying to kill me. Actually, personally, I would rather destroy them legally, of course. I don't believe in extrajudicial stuff, but yeah, legally, I would like to obliterate them forever. Yeah.
we're now living in because of Donald Trump.
I love how leftoids actually tried to pull this shit. They're just like, I'm trying to unite people. We just have to assassinate enough of them, and everyone will be friends. Yeah, nice. And Islam is the religion of peace. Once everyone converts to Islam, they'll all become peaceful. Yep.
And he's allowed all of us to feel free to shove again. And I think.
Excuse me, who's trying to assassinate who over here?
You know, if nothing else, forget.
But but many people would say that you are imitating him. You are. Among all the people,
It's a bad
who
imitation,
may or
too.
may not be running,
AOC is dumb bimbo that no one ever told her she's wrong because she's not even that beautiful. Like, she's just got big titties and a little Latin spice. But she's basically just a suburban white girl with giant, huge bug eyes. And she's a dipshit. Like, people keep. I love how, like, this even happened from my school. Like, some of the dumbest people imaginable that I know went to college. And it's true, like what South Park used to put out. It's just like, you know, that someone will spend one semester in college and think that their whole mind's been opened up to where they had this awakening. That's where the white side of woke came from. The black side of woke was actually a good thing. It was people wanting to be aware of certain oppressions and such that were happening. And then white liberals do what they do, and they hijack the movement for their own ends. And now it's just become this horrific thing. And it's absolutely mind-numbing.
You're suing Fox now, I understand. You're suing, that's
well,
right
we're
out
going
of
into discovery. Fox better look to settle right now or apologize for defamation. But
okay,
we'll
but
get to that.
That's exactly what Trump did.
Yeah,
Trump also sued the
that's
media
exactly
because they lied
what
about
Trump did.
It's exactly like what he does.
But suing media, that's the point. Well, then don't defame, don't lie. And
that's exactly what they did
exactly.
to Trump.
Oh my God, he gets it. He gets it, but he doesn't get it. And this is why I can't with people who are, look, to me, whether you're never Trump or always Trump, you are the same person. Okay? You have to be able to say, oh, my politician did a good or my politician did a bad. Okay, when they do good or bad. There are some objective truths, and even within your own realm, if you are strictly party line, then you're not a real person in my eyes. Okay? Like, I will never understand how someone on the left has to be like yes, you can be pro-gay marriage, you can have gay friends, you can have trans friends, but you can also think like abortion's bad and safe, legal, and rare is probably the best way to go about things, and also maybe be pro-gun and be pro-weed. Like it is natural to not be strictly down the line. But that's how the left gets you. They'll get you on one issue that's important to you. And a lot of weed heads for the last 40, 50 years, my entire life, for sure, the left has been trying to get them with weed laws. And they've made it legal in the states, but you can still be federally arrested. Yes. And Trump is the only one who ever did anything on it, which is absolutely insane. Now, it's actually legal to have medicinal weed. Federally legal. Because of Trump. It wasn't before. Absolutely insane.
Oh my God, it's so fucking bad for
and
him.
if you're pro-weed, you have to give him his flowers for that.
It sounds exactly like
It
him,
is.
actually,
It's exactly. It
because
is.
You're
Because it
basically
is.
arguing Trump's point, right? And it's just so bad.
And if Fox did lie, then 100% they should either settle or pay out to Gavin Newsom, the same way that who the fuck was it? CBS, Paramount, whatever it was, paid out to Trump because they did defame him. And then people like that little bald penis from CNN would be like, it's just nuisance money, when they had to pay Nick Sandman millions of dollars. Like, that kid's set for life because some dipshit banged a drum in his face and tried to make him out to seem like a white supremacist when he was just a scared high school kid with a bunch of dipshits behind him egging him on for some reason, and this dude with the drum banging it in his face picked him out of everyone and made him, and the media made him the face of white supremacy. This has been like, what, 6-10 years ago?
Every single clip from this interview makes Gavin Newsom look like a complete fucking retard.
The other side, what they're going to say, though, is, but have you seen the stats from California?
Good.
What?
They're not good.
Yeah, I love California. You could go there and you can find fence zombies in the wild.
I mean, let's go.
Well, are they going to say good about gas prices? Are they going to say good about how high the rents are?
Yeah.
So many people live. I mean, there's a whole litany. I mean, the train. Gavin,
Okay, the train.
you got to get rid of the train.
The train, we got
I say this as a friend. You got to let that train go. You got to let the train go. It's up to $231 billion.
No, it's not. That's just nonsense. It's not. We're doing a $119 million segment. We got it back on track. It goes back 3 administrations.
Right, it's not his fault.
Inherited a mess. We put it back on track. All the environmental work is behind us. We're actually laying the track. All the legal litigation, all the land issues.
In other words, they did nothing yet. They didn't start yet.
Are all behind us. We're actually making this project work.
Yeah, it's really not happening, and honestly, it's just really bad for him. He keeps even Joe Rogan has been making fun of him too, because obviously, of course, you have to make fun of this guy. He sucks.
And nobody wants President Newsom either.
Bro.
Nobody believes in that guy.
Bro.
The guy's a fucking con man.
Bro.
I mean, everything he did in California, from trying to mandate vaccines for kids, when it was totally unnecessary, to being caught out in public without a mask and lying about the fact that he was outdoors.
Yeah, he sucks.
All of it. It's just nobody believes in that guy. He's just a politician. Just a stone-cold, narrative-driven politician, and it's nobody thinks he's a real human.
Bro.
Whether you like Trump or not, whether you think he's corrupt or not, that's a human being. You know what that guy is. Same thing with RFK Jr. Whether you believe that he's correct about vaccines or whether you believe his policies would be effective, and that's a human being. With Newsom, you've got like this construct.
That's right.
This cardboard cutout of a person.
Oh yeah, yeah, and and of course Gavin Newsom crashes out on the timeline. Joe Little Guy Rogan is too chicken to have me on his failing podcast. Yeah, failing podcast.
Failing. He's been number one for what,
I'd crush
10
it.
years?
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Bill Maher gave you a softball
Almost.
interview and humiliated you, my guy.
Yeah.
It's really not good. It's
the same way that Steve Colbert gave Kamala Harris a softball interview after she became the VP pick, and she humiliated herself. They're like, but you said he was a rapist and a racist. It was a debate. It was a debate. What do you want? It was a debate. That's literally what she
not
said.
Good for these guys. And the left is just completely falling apart here. In fact, our fearless leader, Presidente Donald Trump, has been blasting him from the sidelines. I hate seeing Fox and other conservative outlets constantly making low-rated Bill Maher relevant as it pertains to the Republican Party and beyond. Bill Maher is a weak and ineffective person. I got to know him very well during my dinner with him at the White House. He was nervous, scared. The first words as he uttered as he entered the Oval Office was, "Can I get a drink?" I was very endearing, but at the same time, absolutely pathetic. It was much different than what people think. But last night I happened to watch Gavin Newsom, an admittedly low IQ person who said he can't read a speech, is dumb and essentially incompetent, and he took Bill Maher over the coals. Bill Maher was defenseless and totally deficient. Either he didn't have the knowledge or he choked, because Gavin went on and on about how good California is doing. Well, it's doing very poorly.
Yeah.
Having by far the worst year it's ever had. Where for the first...
And I don't like that he's tearing down Bill Maher here. Like, Bill Maher gonna Bill Maher. Okay, he didn't even go hard, like lean in on Trump. He went a little soft. He went pretty soft on Gavin, but come on, man. Like, you got to meet people where they live on these things. Like,
for the first time in history, more people are leaving than coming. Bill Maher started by... Bill Maher started by saying...
I can't wait to hear his
poorly,
response
only
on
have
this,
Newsom
though.
Speak for an extended period of time and lie about all the facts. All you have to do is look at what happened to Los Angeles, San Francisco, the horrendous homeless problem all over the street, the railway catastrophe that's billions of dollars over budget, has never been built, the inability to rebuild the 25,000 homes that were destroyed by the fire because he refused to allow water in the street from the southwest. If it weren't for our superstar EPA administrator Lee Zeldin and me, they wouldn't have any homes being built right now at all. Fox should stop putting this person on. He's not representing us. You look weak, stupid, and ineffective. I hate seeing that. Don't use Bill Maher any longer as a representative of you. I hate hearing that Bill Maher said Bill Maher is a moron.
He's not, though.
Slightly more talented than Jimmy Kimmel. Oh my god.
that is pretty funny, though.
I love his tweets so much. It's just unbelievable. Now, let's look into...
Look, like, and God, I'm so glad he's getting to this. But look, Bill Maher, for all of his faults, he's probably the best ally that Trump could utilize from the left. Someone who is actually trying to see what he's doing and has actually done what you should do, and applaud when Trump do good thing and criticize when Trump do bad thing, or at least thing that you're against or for. Okay? And I have a lot of respect for Bill Maher for that very reason. And when Trump does stuff like this, bad Trump.
Two other Democrat candidates that are absolutely falling apart right now, because this is a total party collapse. All right, so this is Graham Plattner. He is running for the Senate candidate in Maine. All right, he actually has a real Nazi tattoo. All right, not like one of those fake Nazi tattoos, like a cross.
Yeah, like the Iron Cross that's on Pete Hesek's chest.
This is like an actual death's head Nazi tattoo. He has an SS
He had it for
chest
18
tattoo,
years.
Endorsed political violence, endorsed Hamas, called white rural Mainers stupid, called Jesus a zombie and the Virgin Mary a skank, defended urinating on corpses. This is the guy they're pushing into the Senate. Understand the level of retard we're dealing with. Tim Walz says, I'll be in Portland tomorrow to kick off the campaign to get Graham Plattner, an actual Nazi, not like the how Donald Trump is a Nazi, like an actual Nazi.
Yeah.
Tim Walz condemned Elon for making a hand gesture when he claimed it was a Nazi salute. He's literally campaigning for a dude with an actual Nazi tattoo. This is insane. All right? Even CNN is shredding people on this because this is crazy.
Now,
and Mockler's a
obviously, I'm not
retard.
surprised because the Nazis were always left-wing. All right, everyone tried to rewrite history to make the Nazis right-wing.
Exactly.
The Nazis were National Socialists. They were absolutely, positively left-wing. 1,000% left-wing. All right, not even remotely close. So this isn't surprising at all, actually.
Or a Republican.
Same with the KKK, left-wing. All of it, funded by left-wingers even today. All right, and it is absolutely a left-wing project. All right, you were psyoped by the history books.
Candidate who had a Nazi tattoo, covered it up.
Like less than a year ago, he covered it up. Less than a year
and
ago.
had said all the things that he had said about black people, about women, about rape, etc. Do you really think there's a world in which Democrats would be like, let's just let bygones be bygones?
Well, yes, I do, because I'm a little schmuck.
I think we're entering a new era, and we'll see what the base wants. We'll see who wins when the actual election happens. But for the past decade, Democrats have been unified by our opposition to Donald Trump. And now,
I mean, why not? Someone in, what was it? Was it Pennsylvania or Virginia where they just elected? It was one of those eastern seaboard states that they elected someone who literally said he wanted to kill his competition. Like, it leaked, and he still won.
Message. So if
we literally have gay libcuck over here running a campaign for a actual guy with a Nazi tattoo. Like, a Nazi tattoo that's running for
Adam
Senate of
Mockler's a
Michigan.
dipshit.
These guys have been calling Trump a Nazi and calling the ICE agents the Gestapo. All right, they've been doing all.
They've called people Nazis for much less. And now that it's someone on their side, someone who's pulling ahead in a state like Maine, which is full of retards anyway. Like, Maine is probably the most retarded state in the union, at least in the Northeast, which isn't saying much. But, well, I'm sorry, which is saying a lot. It's just absolutely insane, and no one cares because Maine, it's all the way over there. It's practically Canada. No one really gives a shit. But at the same time, what the fuck are we doing?
All of this shit. They're actually running this guy. This is awesome.
Donald Trump, or if another Republican had a Nazi tattoo, I don't know. Donald Trump has dinner with Nazis. It's not that far from, happening.
He had dinner with Kanye West, bro. It's the same thing as literally electing a senator who actually has a Nazi tattoo. Totally the same.
Yeah,
there's also plausible deniability regarding Graham Plattner's tattoo. We don't know if he knew.
He had it for 18 years. Okay, if you put something on your body, look, and I know a bunch of people who have gotten drunk and tattooed something weird or stupid on them. I know people who have misspelled tattoos, or sentences that make no sense when you're sober. But a Nazi tattoo. I mean, I wouldn't have gotten a tattoo in Germany or Austria or whichever fucking country he got it in the first place anyway.
Is there really? It's not like it's a swastika where you could say it's a Buddhist symbol, okay? Right? It is the Totenkopf Death's Head tattoo, all right, that was used by SS guards. Like, what are we talking about?
What he knew.
But it's not just the tattoo.
Plausible
deniability.
Listen.
That sounds so pragmatic.
Could you imagine these people letting Trump off for that? Like, these guys will say that,
look at this. She's saying something, and she's actually saying something pretty smart, which doesn't happen that often because she's on CNN, let's be honest. But she's actually saying something, and he won't let her finish. And she's letting it happen because they're on the same side politically. This is what I'm saying. If you stand for something, stand for it. If you're a useless grifter shill, who I don't know why the left is putting all these autistic kids up on pedestals, like starting with Greta Thunberg and then Harry Sisson and then this fucking retard. Like, what are we even doing?
Trump walked into a changing room at a event for supermodels 47 years ago. He must be evil and a pedophile. Dude has an actual Nazi tattoo and they're carrying water for him. It's just wonderful watching the left collapse. And it's the same. And it's all these guys. This is Graham Plattner.
And Democrats are now rushing to support him despite a whole bunch of baggage he's bringing to this race. Look at this. Last year, Plattner had to apologize after it was revealed that he had a Nazi symbol tattooed on his chest. He claimed he didn't know
And what he used to cover it is kind of stupid.
He's also made controversial posts about women. He said they should take, quote, some responsibility to avoid being raped. He praised a Hamas attack that saw Israeli soldiers get killed. He's also signed on to the All Cops Are Bastards movement, suggesting that people should fight fascism with, quote, a good semi-automatic rifle. Those are his words. And he also called rural Americans, quote, racist and stupid.
All right, so again, this is the
All of
Democrats
them,
using
right?
their
Because
vested
all of
rights.
them. Why not?
It's pretty incredible stuff, right? And this is the same guy during one of his rally.
We are without question seeing the rise of fascism and authoritarianism in this country.
This is days after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, by the way.
I see it a lot from the pro-Palestinian. I got commented on my tweet calling me a Nazi. And on the same tweet... Oh, crap. It blurred it out. Yeah, Yanuka, follow me on X. It's literally the same thing. It should be linked on all the things. But send it to me. Send me a follow, and I'll follow you back, and you can tell me what that word is. I see it's a 6-letter word. Calling me a Nazi and fascist. I don't know. I'm surprised it let you say Nazi. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out how to turn all the things off, but then I kind of forget and keep right on living. But I am going to start doing better, I promise. I'm going out of town this weekend, so there won't be a show on Friday morning. But oh, he said Hitler was right. What? See, and that's the crazy thing. Like, you'll see all these pro-Palestinian people, well, not pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas, mostly. They say that they're just pro-Palestinian and they're against Hamas, but then you tell them to condemn Hamas, and they're just like, oh, and then they say things like Hitler was right. What are we even talking about here? It's just like, oh, it wasn't Hitler that was bad. It was the Nazis.
Right,
what?
That's my favorite argument. Every time someone says, oh, Trump's a fascist or stuff like that, then you have to kill them.
It won't let you
So
say
go kill
Hitler
them, I guess. I
on
don't
Kick,
support that.
at least
But you
in,
think he's a fascist, you have to kill
that's
him, right? Otherwise,
kind of weird.
how are you going to ever get rid of him from power? You mean if you win an election, he's just not going to leave?
We're going to need to fight it the old-fashioned way, which is...
I guess you're going to have to kill them.
This guy sounds like a country hick, and he lives in Maine. We're going to have to fight it the old-fashioned way.
Broad-based coalitions of labor unions and community organizations, of community...
That won't stop fascists. Fascists retain power no matter what.
Groups, of individuals, of political parties. It all needs to be working in tandem to fight back against the creeping fascism that is in our society today. We are...
Yeah, so this is the guy, Nazi dude over here, that they're actually running, all right? So, and again, as pointed out very well on...
Kyle Kalinski's just a cunt. I'm sorry. I don't like using that word. But, dude, come on. The man's dead. Let him rest.
Never cut Republicans the same kind of slack if somebody show... By the way, it's not resembling a Nazi tattoo.
It's a Nazi
tattoo.
Yeah, it's a Nazi
which he then
tattoo.
blamed on the military for giving him. So it's been kind of, I mean, it's a terrible thing, but they're going to choose to overlook it. I would just say on the main race in general, last time Collins was on the ballot, she never led in a single poll, and then she got reelected. Maine's an interesting electorate. I think it's going to be one of the most fascinating and expensive races in the cycle. But to see the Democrats, who've spent a lot of time calling Donald Trump a Nazi for the last several years, embrace the guy with the Nazi tattoo.
Yep.
Pretty, has said a lot of anti-Semitic things. It's quite a turnaround.
Look, there's a
Well, I'm really glad that we're actually doing this because I am being completely vindicated on my thesis that the left actually doesn't care about these things.
They
don't care about them. They use words as weapons.
As someone who's
they
been
call
among
Trump a
them
Nazi,
for his
and then
entire
they say
life,
kill Nazis
I can say
as
they
some sort of dog whistle to kill Trump. And then they'll all celebrate assassinations and be upset that the assassin misses. And then simultaneously they'll say it was staged. It's all a gigantic op to kill you, actually, because they don't care about this. They don't actually view human life as something valuable, as they've aborted a third of Gen Z. And the reality is actually really simple. They don't care about these things. Of course, they'll support real Nazis. They just won't label them that way. They'll label the people they don't like Nazis so you can kill them. Right? They don't actually care at all. They just want power, and they'll do it by any means necessary, and they don't care.
For instance, two things can be true at once. You can have done or said bad things, but you can also change your views, and you can also...
You can evolve! Dude had a Nazi tattoo.
Yeah.
Prove that through your actions.
I'm really happy that
and I agree with that. Unless you have a Nazi tattoo. Like, if like, honestly... And honestly, even then, sure. But the man is still speaking the same things that he spoke then. He is still very anti-Semitic. What are we even talking about here?
You're saying this, by the way.
Donald Trump.
Is that enough?
But it's okay because anti-Semitism is cool now.
Right, so I'm actually really happy they're saying this because my broad thesis is actually the left is the cancel culture party. You said the N-word 10 years ago and they'll fucking kill you in the streets.
Yeah.
All right, they're the cancel party. Right, they get upset and miffed at all sorts of things, and no matter how many apologies anyone makes, they're never accepted because honestly, forgiveness is ultimately a religious concept. It comes from the Bible, and the left rejects it, and therefore mercy doesn't exist for these people. All right, they do not believe in any of that shit. All right, now they're claiming that maybe he had a change of heart, maybe people change and grow and evolve. Dude had a Nazi tattoo a year ago, and the reasoning is actually because they don't think he changed or grew or evolved. They don't care. They don't care that he had a Nazi tattoo. That doesn't bother them one bit because he's fighting to get power on their side, and that's the only thing that matters in the leftist mind. I'm sorry if I'm radicalizing you a little bit. I see a lot of people saying we need to unite. It's just differences of opinion and different people have different perspectives on the best for our country. No, actually they're evil and they need to be destroyed. Non-violently and legally, we need to obliterate these people. All right, and I'm doing my absolute best to radicalize as many of you as I can to point out that they're actually evil pieces of shit. A lot of people try to press me on this one. Oh, no, maybe, no, they're evil. They will contradict every belief that they claim they have because they have no belief system. They have no moral framework, and you'll see it proven again and again and again. Their words are weapons, and their morals are lies. And don't fall for the shit, man. It's so obvious once you notice. This is the Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan slamming the Laken-Riley Act, which is an act against, illegal aliens murdering Americans.
The very first vote in the second Trump administration that he brought forward was for the Laken-Riley Act. It was one of his biggest priorities. It's
just so
Your booze
obvious,
mean nothing. I've
right?
seen what
They
makes you
claim
cheer.
They care about women. They care about women. It's the party that cares about women, right? Of course, they're feminists. As if feminists care about women. They don't care about women. They don't care about rape. They don't care about any of that shit. They don't care about actual men that abuse women, that they're locked behind bars. They don't care about any of that. The entire system is a lie to gain power.
Strict due process away from immigrants, allowed for the indefinite detention
They aren't
of
owed due
adults
process.
and children.
Based.
And with the green light.
Let's go.
To give ICE unprecedented.
Let's go. Based.
Totally terrorized.
Holy shit, I hope they terrorize all the illegal aliens very effectively. We need them to have more power to terrorize them more. But nuts, isn't that inhumane?
No, they don't need to
Why
be
didn't they leave the
terrorized. They
country
just
themselves?
needs to
They
be
had the ability
gone.
to do that. They decided not to? Oh, well, terrorize time. Sorry, don't care. Sorry. Your words mean nothing. Your words, your adjectives, your bullshit, it's irrelevant. And every single leftist just exposed themselves yesterday. They felt the need to do it. I cover a deep dive on all the things every day. Breaking conservative court pact of Trump-appointed judges ruled to roll back access to the abortion pill. It's a straight page for the extremist Republicans' anti-abortion playbook. No. Let me be clear. The abortion pill is safe and effective. Yeah, really good at murdering babies, very effective at murdering babies. Right, we must fight back. Right, so the left is super mad that they're going to have less child sacrifices to whatever demon they worship. Another huge Trump victory. That's saving 650,000 babies a year, potentially. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know, by the way. All right, just letting.
And one thing about this I've never understood, like I'm not for or against abortion. I'm a safe, legal, and rare guy. But the fact that people use it as birth control is ridiculous. Like, say no to somebody for once and find a guy who knows how to at least pull out or wear a rubber. Like, what are we even talking about here? And guys, do it for your own safety, okay? Otherwise, like Kanye said back when he was kind of sane, 18 years.
And you know, that's another huge Trump W that people seem to forget about. All right, we got Elizabeth Warren continues her crash out. The big four airlines, American, Delta, Southwest, and United, control 75% of the U.S. market. Fewer choices equal higher prices for you. Really? Funny you should say that, because Senator Warren previously helped block the merger of JetBlue and Spirit, which would have resulted in a fifth major airline and more competition against major airlines. It's almost like they don't have any value system whatsoever, and they're just fucking retards. God, can I get any more vindicated today? Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Breaking
and I've given it to
New Jersey
Elizabeth Warren
mayoral
online for
candidate
this.
Henrylin Ibzim, sounds like a straight white Christian male to me.
Oh, very much.
Pleaded guilty for forging nearly 1,000 voter registration applications. You know the thing that never happens that keeps happening? And I'll keep getting more vindicated, actually. Representative Pramila Jayapal is facing calls to be stripped of her committees or
one of the
expelled.
squad.
You know why? Because she actively states that she is raising domestic terrorists.
The reality is that consumers across the country said, no, we're not going to tolerate that. So we are building to those moments. And right now, there are a lot of attacks on our democracy. I mean, we just...
Why?
This is the second or third dumbest
these people are such fucking
person
losers.
in any
You see,
House of
I
Congress.
actually want to attack democracy because I would love to strip a lot of people of their rights.
Starting with the
Universal
Hawaiian
suffrage
chick.
is a huge mistake, and we need to go back to the republic roots of our actual nation.
Maisie Williams.
But
No,
but
not
that's
Maisie
not
Williams.
happening now.
Maisie-
All right, so you can cry about it when my preferred candidate actually gets into power. My magical candidate, whenever it happens. We're moving towards that direction. Enough young people are getting radicalized. We'll get there. Don't get me wrong. I'll get into that discussion another time. And that will actually be an attack on democracy when that happens, and it'll be awesome. But this isn't. This actually isn't an attack on democracy at all.
The Republicans just passed a budget resolution that puts another $70 billion into ICE and CBP.
Yes, let's fucking go. Yo, think about all the little miscreants they'll be able to deport. Oh my God. Oh my God, not using dehumanizing language. What are you going to do? Be mad? What are you going to do? Cry about it? Yeah, every single illegal alien needs to go. That's not a discussion.
On top of the $170 billion that they put in with their big bad betrayal bill last year. Which is why
Let's go.
we, the movement, Democrats in the House, Democrats in the Senate, and all of us on the outside said not a dime more for ICE and CBP.
Man, don't you love how we import foreigners into our country so the foreigners could dictate us what our immigration policies need to be? Wow, this totally isn't a mistake. And she is basically admitting that she is helping to train 30,000 plus resistors, which is leftists getting involved in riots. This is, in my opinion, actual domestic terrorism that they're just openly admitting they're doing. All right, and the wins keep coming, man. DHS and FEMA suspended Congress Representative Sheila Scherflus, all right, and her brother, and multiple associates from receiving future federal funds. These individuals were indicted for funneling over $5 million of FEMA relief funds for personal enrichment, illegal campaign contributions. The fraud arrests keep happening, all right, and I keep getting more vindicated every single day. It's honestly wild watching this take place, and it's honestly very, very satisfying watching the thing that we all knew happens actually finally face justice. So I think I've done a pretty good job so far explaining to you exactly the value system that the left does not have, right? They don't actually care about any of these things. They don't care about being a Nazi even. They'll literally get Nazi candidates to run for Senate. They don't care about Nazism. They don't actually care about anything. They don't care about free speech. They don't care about any of the things that they claim to care about. They don't care about democracy. They're trying to absolutely flood our country with illegals to then give them citizenship so they can vote. They don't care about any of these things. So I think it's time to look at what they actually do care about. What are they fighting for? If their words are just weapons, all right, in order to manipulate you, and they don't actually care about their words, so then what are they fighting for? So this is New York City mosque leader Tajum Islam. He's 55. He's of the Masjid Bilal Islamic Center. He just got arrested for sexually abusing and forcibly touching multiple young girls. Socialist Mayor Zoran Mamdani is proudly standing with the mosque leadership. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice?
Horrible.
I think that's beautiful. Just a beautiful clip of New Americana.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Shit that they're actually pushing.
I don't like talking about this stuff. It's disgusting.
Power. Wake the fuck up, America.
It makes
we
me
have to
real
talk about the people
uncomfortable.
grooming our countrymen into actually becoming walking lobotomites. The streamers, the influencers, the teachers, all the people that are literally just there and just active and allowed to run free by the powers that be to manipulate and groom a generation of people to become absolute morons. troglodytes running around.
And speaking
that
of
they
people
use as
groomed
little
to be
pawns
absolute
to vote
morons,
for their
let's
own
get into
demise
Hasan
without them even
Piker.
knowing it. All right, so Hasan Piker's been going on a bunch of shows lately. He's been very popular lately, not on his actual streams where his viewer numbers are actually really down. People don't actually like dog abusing morons so much. Thank God. You know, ultimately you abuse your dog and it's like, wow, this guy sucks. No matter what political leaning you have. But the truth of the matter is, he keeps showing up in the political world. And it's honestly awesome for me because I really would like to see this guy get deported and jailed. And I think this does a really good job at my larger thesis of the left is an actual cult of immoral psychopaths that are trying to groom generations of morons into voting for their own demise. All right, that is the thesis here. And Hasan absolutely fits the bill. So the right is targeting him, making him as much of a face of the Democratic Party as they can because it's amazing. It's perfect. Hey, guys, you want to vote for a Democrat? Look at this roach. Look at this terrorist roach dog abusing retard over here. And then the left is going to try to use that popularity to win elections by having the most retarded candidates ever.
There's something else I wanted to cover that was I thought it was in this video.
Where I'm not like automatically saying like you are the devil if you've had any positive associations with Israel, because I understand that. Just like I understand where people are coming from with
even though he, by the way, supported the murder of 2 Israeli Christians in Washington D.C. By the way, even though he was like totally cool with that for some reason.
Even white supremacist attitudes that they might have had, like the residual white supremacist blind spots that they have that end up
he doesn't want to kill you just because you have residual white supremacist blind spots.
Rearing their head in their decision making, because America is in its foundation a white supremacist country.
God, I love when these people open their mouths and just say shit, bro. I absolutely love it. It's so fucking satisfying when they do this. That's right. America is inherently a white supremacist country. He says this, again, the left will use words to manipulate you. He might even believe it. I don't know if he's that high on his own supply, but Hasan Piker equates white supremacists with Nazis and says you should kill Nazis. So again, this is exactly the level of grooming that is allowed on Twitch, right? Twitch, a gaming platform for 13-year-olds and everywhere else on the internet, for him to basically introduce the most violent rhetoric imaginable and use words like this, relatively soft terms like white supremacy and shit like that, to manipulate a generation of retards. And this is actually the Democrat plan. They can't actually instill their values in their children. They don't have children, as we'll get to in a minute. But they could basically arm a generation of teachers, groomers, and influencers to manipulate kids into thinking that we have to fight back against white supremacy.
This is very frustrating for Republicans to hear. This is even frustrating for liberals to hear sometimes. But it's just
because it's not true.
The truth, right? And
it's just the truth.
Anything that Hasan Piker says is not
zero
true.
evidence. It's just the truth, right?
Hold
it's just
on.
the truth that it's totally awesome that Russia conquered Crimea.
Maybe it was on the next
It's just
Taku
the
channel.
truth that Hamas terrorists are actually the good guys. It's just the truth that all Americans are secretly white supremacists, because it's just a white supremacist country. Literally fucking leave. Get this Turkish cockroach out of my goddamn country. What are we doing here?
So my assessment always is, yeah, there's going to be some things that people say that are going to be objectively heinous.
So this debate has been going
implicit biases
viral.
that they have.
Everyone is talking about it. All right, so this guy, Brian Shapiro, is like a libtard, and this is Rachel Wilson, wife of Andrew Wilson, who I didn't realize was like a debater person, but she's an anti-feminist, and apparently she obliterates this guy. I've been seeing clips everywhere.
And I'm not a huge fan of either of these people, but she does a really good job in this. Kick bounties. Oh, hey, man, thanks for the engagement there.
Libtard College, and they said it's the...
During the prosperity of the early 90s, when we had one of the best economies we've had,
I'll respond.
Why was the birth rate below replacement then?
Sure. So I'll answer that, but I'll start by saying this.
Oh, my God! They are laughing at him! Based! Because there's no response. Because it had nothing to do with the economy. Because it's been below replacement level even when the economy was great. Right? So it's such a joke.
I don't know what's so funny.
The lack of self-awareness is hilarious.
Oh, that's
Brian
amazing, bro.
Seems to have no idea how badly this looks.
I think you saying that makes you retarded. So first of all, to use that word and to call... No, it's not cool for her to use that word.
But I'm allowed to use
Well, technically, I identify as a retard. I've claimed the slur.
that word. To me, the most funny exchange was when they start talking about the word retarded.
To say that
Bro,
just
what does
because,
that have to do with feminism, bro?
because we don't believe in what you believe, that people are retarded. Because
Bro, that's
just moral outrage.
retarded.
okay,
Got him.
Good.
Got
Good.
him.
Good. So let me be very clear, okay?
And Brian is using the word himself while claiming it is wrong to use.
Well, technically, he is a retard, so he's claimed the slur. It's like a black guy saying the N-word.
The hypocrisy here is comical.
Sorry, I just pulled
To
a
call
Hasan
people
Piker.
retarded because they don't believe in the religion that you believe
Oh, how
in, or they
dare
don't
me!
believe
I
in
know,
God,
I know. Oh,
is
how
so
dare
beyond
I.
absurd and
Is
big.
this a debate about feminism? What is this moral? Look at the veins popping out of his neck. His face is red as fuck. Oh, this is embarrassing.
in
It's
nature. It's
retarded?
ridiculous.
Is that what you're saying?
It's ridiculous. No, I think you are.
Got him.
Oh, it's okay
what I was
for
gonna
him
say-
to
what
say
I
or
was gonna
imply.
say-
Do you have an
What
argument?
I was going to say, just be quiet. Make Andrew a sandwich and be
Wow.
quiet.
See, and I love how it's
feminism, but also
okay.
misogynist?
Yeah.
That's pretty misogynistic.
Yeah, and most of these quote unquote feminists
laughing because it's so comically
are
bad.
pretty
God,
misogynistic.
seems
Let's
to
be
open-
honest.
He's literally obliterating his own argument every time he opens his mouth.
Oblivious to why they're laughing.
20 million. Andrew, do you have a cigarette? Because I need one right now. So listen.
I know it's
I
got
want
to be
everybody.
embarrassing
Hold on.
getting your butt
Be
whipped
quiet
by
for
a
second.
housewife. Wow.
So he claims to be loyal.
You actually don't again update that didn't hear any arguments from this guy. I mean, maybe he did, and it was cut out.
Wait, hold on. 10 seconds.
At some
10
point,
seconds.
I have to be able
Okay,
to
at some point you
respond.
will. Finish the sandwich.
And this is Brian's MO. So rather than
Okay.
contending with the logic, he tries to claim that your argument makes you a bad person. Essentially, just how dare you over and over.
That's
again.
right. It's just infinite moral outrage, zero logic, cuck
We've
behavior.
seen what happens when you try to put female law enforcement officers on the streets and on the border. It doesn't work
Yeah.
out very well. We
True.
need men, and we rely on them
True.
to protect persons and property.
Yeah, let's talk
That's
about.
just an objective fact.
Therefore, that's the task of
Let's
men,
talk
not
about
of women.
protecting. Let's talk about COVID for a moment. Female.
What? That wasn't a segue, and you'll see why. You'll see why.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Female leaders.
Yeah, let's.
Suddenly he throws in COVID into the mix, and it is a little laughable.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with the fact that men are stronger than women, right?
What are you doing?
COVID. Okay, sure.
How mad he is.
Tell me how
Why are
this
you
is gonna-
laughing at
'cause
COVID? Millions of people died.
It is better.
See, and why we're laughing because you brought it up. We don't. No one thinks that COVID is funny, except that some people still wear masks. But
What? You're laughing at the distress of people?
Back to feminism.
This is that modality I was describing. It's like, how dare you? How dare you is not an argument.
Why are
It's
you
not.
laughing?
We're debating feminism.
because you're
Right.
ridiculous.
I think it has nothing to do with feminism.
Okay, well, why don't you shut up and let me finish and make him a sandwich again and
Are
let
you
me
mad?
finish.
Oh my.
That's his
dear,
one
you just told the
go-to.
woman to
Bad,
shut up and-
dude.
Like, dude, you could have used it once, but this is now what we're going 3-4 times, and he's using the sandwich. Make him a sandwich.
Dude,
A
oh
sandwich.
my. He's been
The only point that I was trying to make was that women that were in these positions during that time during COVID saved lives, and they did a better job than men.
How do you know the?
because they had tyrannical fucking doctrine.
That's-
Because women in
What?
power always believe in absolute authority to the state, and they locked shit down super tight. and
Yeah, like
squashed
the
people's freedoms, because
bitch
that's
president
what
of
happens when you take
New
power.
Zealand.
You know, when queens were rulers, there were more wars than when kings were rulers. It's just an objective fact. It's objectively true. So yeah, maybe they saved more lives. Again, the entire way we calculate COVID deaths is a complete joke for different reasons, which is not part of this discussion. But yes, it's because women rulers are draconian.
The women did a better job than men. What are you basing that on? What are you comparing it to? How do you know?
I suppose it's death tolls in female-run places versus male-run places, and I believe that because women were much more draconian over COVID. You know, they would lock shit down immediately.
What job the men would have done.
So let me ask you a question.
Look, you still see students going around with masks because they're afraid of getting COVID
Yeah,
today.
because their
Oh,
parents are
women.
nuts.
Do you want us to look like a third world country? Is that what you want?
I mean, that's what the way we're going with all the imports.
Okay.
Explain.
Got him.
Well,
Got
I
him.
think in his mind, he genuinely thinks like, yeah, I've got her right where I want her.
Yeah.
Some of the conversations happening around.
That might. Oh yeah. Do you want to be a third world country? No. Unironically.
Just say in his face, yes.
embarrassing.
And be doing these specific things.
What
I don't
did
want to look like.
What specific things?
I don't want to
did
look
say?
like Afghanistan. You are pushing.
I didn't say that.
Oh my fucking god, dude! It's either radical feminism or it's Afghanistan Sharia law.
You are pushing a narrative.
So it's either progressive liberal enlightenment or it's Sharia law in Afghanistan.
Then it just falls apart.
You've spent all the time talking about Trump and COVID and all kinds of
Well, yeah, because I gave you examples of women in government that I thought did a good job.
And you've still not made a single compelling argument.
Actually, I did. They saved lives, and obviously you don't care about that.
There's another example. Obviously,
obviously you don't care about lives.
That's right. Did you say in your book that Miley Cyrus, Cardi B, Katy Perry, Beyonce, because they stick their tongue out, they're invoking some Hindu goddess?
Holy shit, I have to read this book.
Hate men.
And then he just takes a sharp right turn.
Aha, gotcha. Here's an old quote of yours.
Into Hindu gods or something, and women sticking their tongues out. I don't know.
I didn't say that.
In your book, you were talking about invoking the Hindu goddess because they stick their tongue out.
Did you read the book?
That must mean I want to kill men too. I don't know.
Did you read the book? Because you said you weren't.
I read excerpts of the book. Sure.
Yeah, ChatGPT.
Sure.
Because that's not what I said.
And now we take a left turn.
That's awkward.
To the Bible. Why? Well, let's see.
You believe in the Bible, right? And God killed 2.4 million people in the Bible.
What does this have to do with feminism? Like, what is even going on?
Where are you getting those numbers from?
Impressive? I don't know.
I believe in Orthodox Christianity, and I'm not going to get into a Bible debate with you because it's beyond the scope of this.
So we only got a couple minutes left here.
Show me where. So, do you have an argument? Tell me how feminism has improved the lives of women and children when I just opened with all these statistics proving that
I'll use your argument because I want to move on to one other thing, but I'll just use the argument that you used 20 minutes ago. It's retarded.
And he still has not made any.
This is honestly humiliating. I don't know how this guy could ever possibly show his face in public ever again.
Arguments. Now, Rachel has brought...
Dude, this might have been one of the most embarrassing debate performances I've ever seen in my entire life.
Statistics, logical points, historical facts, and when presented with these, this is how Brian responds.
What's retarded?
There's
Feminism?
a lot of problems. There's a lot of hold on. There's a lot of problems in this country. I think we all know. Okay, there's a lot of.
You didn't answer the question.
I'm finished. Hold on. We have 3 minutes left here. I'm talking about your ideology and the reason why. I think you've made it very clear to everybody what your ideology is. I think it's very clear what you think women should be doing. Listen.
Which is what? You haven't.
Families with good men who protect them and take care of them. Yes, I think that's great.
And what if a woman against that? And absolutely not.
And this is where things kind of go.
Oh my god.
Rails.
This guy doesn't know what he's arguing for.
I'm sure he thinks this is a winning
He's
strategy.
just moral outrage and woke talking points. This is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
But it backfires.
Sure.
But there are women out there, 30s, 40s, that haven't found the right man.
Well, is it that they haven't found the right man, or is it that they've been through about 50 men and haven't wanted to
talk about yourself like that, Rachel?
I've been with a handful, like less than 5, so.
Don't go down this road, Brian.
What is with the personal attacks, dude?
Yeah.
Like, this is embarrassing, bro.
This is a mistake.
Like, people always do personal attacks when they don't have an argument.
To break up with those men, right?
I didn't.
Would you agree with that?
I didn't.
You weren't married to any other men?
I was, but I didn't initiate
100 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to divorce them, right?
I didn't divorce them. I was abandoned by an abusive person.
Oh my
Like, this is why you should always do a lot of research. Like, you know how like boxers will like check out another boxer's fighting style. Basketball players will watch tapes of them playing other teams. You should really do any research on anyone. Like, it should pretty much envelop your whole life for like a week or two prior to a heavy debate. You need to know everything about this person to effectively debate them, so you can pick them apart piece by piece.
Research before making that claim. Oh my god, that is
especially if you're going to use personal attacks or their own words against them.
Okay, so 100 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to.
Yes.
You wouldn't have been able to get abandoned.
Get abandoned 100 years ago?
What?
This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. This is unbelievable. This guy has like a radio show, this Brian dude. He's like on these tours. Like, are we serious?
And every time he actually talks to people, he embarrasses himself horrible.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Like, this is where we're at.
I just told you that in the year 1900, 55,700 divorces were granted to women who were in abusive marriages. So yes, I would have. And by the way, one more thing.
Disagree.
I would be able to.
I disagree with facts.
Here without feminism. This is a very stupid, silly rebuttal. Yes.
It's not stupid
Mary
at all.
Wollstonecraft.
It really is.
Anti-suffragists were having public debates against suffragists in 1848.
True.
You dumbass.
And those were women.
We are now reaching the end, and still Brian has not made any.
He hasn't realized that he's dead.
He is.
That's pretty bad, bro. That's pretty bad. All right, I actually want to watch their official closing statements here. All right, here we go. Rachel Wilson versus Brian Shapiro. We're going to watch their official closing argument. All right, here we go.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. I do a lot of shows that are way far to the right. I'm happy to do them, regardless of whether people agree or disagree with me. But I'm going to talk about something now very serious.
No one tried to kill him.
And it's an emotional thing.
He's going to appeal to your emotions.
Debate on feminism.
Yeah.
Bro says it's an emotional thing.
Like, look, opening statements is supposed to be like what you're going to go over, and closing statements are supposed to be a wrap up. It's especially if you've demolished them in one of these things, it's supposed to be your victory lap. But if you clearly didn't win, then it's basically your last appeal. And that is not what this is. So he's going to heavily appeal to emotion because he's not a real person.
And when I was doing debate prep for this debate,
you did debate prep.
He made no arguments.
I learned of a horrible story that I am very sad to hear. That you had lost your 10-year-old son in a car accident, and my condolences to your family. It's awful.
Wait, what the fuck? I didn't know that. Oh my God, I'm back. I just did a quick Google search. I had no idea about this. That's crazy. Holy shit.
Why would you bring that up in a...
Why is he bringing this up at the end of debate about feminism?
Yeah. That's horrible.
I'm literally lost for words. What an unbelievable tragedy. What the fuck are you doing, man?
Awful. And unfortunately, we have something like that in common,
oh my
Rachel,
God,
and I am truly sorry that happened to you. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. When
this little thing right here is driving me crazy.
My whole family got into
it. And look at her face. Like, why would he bring this up? Why? But I will commend her, and I'm not a fan of hers in general. I don't like Andrew Wilson really either. They make a few good points here and there, but look at when this guy's finished yapping about whatever the fuck he's talking about. Look at her response. This is probably one of the better responses, especially for a closing argument after what this fucker just said, I've ever seen.
I lost my grandmother. It's the reason why my sister passed away a few years ago, because of...
Bro's literally crying.
Yeah, and he's what are we even talking about
like
here?
This emotional appeal in the closing argument in the most disgusting way I've ever seen in my life. I'm literally in shock. I've never seen anything like this before.
Her injuries, and I learned at a very young age.
This isn't a sermon, bro.
How precious life is. What does this have to do with feminism?
Great question.
Exactly.
Life is really short. And again, I say again, how sorry I am that your family had to go through that. It's horrible.
Then why bring it up?
And the reason why I talk
about what's happening right now.
Short life is, I don't want to tell you guys what to do.
Oh my
God. This isn't
an argument.
This doesn't mean anything.
This isn't an argument.
I don't want to tell you guys that you can't be in the workplace. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a stay-at-home...
I don't think he even understands what logic or debate actually means. I just don't... This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
With kids, I think that's all great. I don't want to tell you what to do. When I was 14 years old, my dad introduced me to two radio hosts, Howard Stern and Don Imus. I didn't really like Don Imus very much. I said, Dad, I want to be like...
Because he said nappy-headed
hose
one
time.
This
is like some emotional diatribe. All right,
the radio one.
I'm just fucking speeding it up.
And my family supported me.
I don't care.
I had to work really fucking hard, pardon my French, to get to where I am, to be able to even do something like this, to be able to go on Pierce.
I was about to do the same.
But it wasn't because I'm a guy. It wasn't because I'm a male. It's because I worked my ass off, which I'm still doing every day. And if a woman listens to their dad growing up and they want...
This has nothing to do with feminism, by the way.
...be a radio host, or they want to be a doctor or a nurse, or maybe they're poor, but they're still involved in politics and they want to vote. I say, do what makes you happy. Live your life. Don't listen to somebody, no matter what religion they are or who they are, tell you what to do with your life. I'm doing what I'm doing now.
It's like a nothing argument, because like you have a lot of people that make really bad decisions because of the indoctrination that they've had in bad systems, and then they end up fucking up their entire life. And actually, having a father figure explain to them right and wrong at a young age and explaining to them what is important is a good thing, and this is not an argument.
Because I work hard. It has nothing to do with my gender or because I'm a woman. We all have tragedies in life, and I'm sorry.
I didn't think he was a woman.
Sorry for yours, and I wish we didn't have that in common, because it's awful. Don't let other people tell you what to do. I know there's a lot of people in this crowd that probably disagree with a lot of what I said today. And listen, that's okay. You
Yeah.
have the freedom to agree or disagree with people. That's what makes this country great. But we're all human beings. I'm not perfect. I make plenty of mistakes.
Yeah,
I make
mostly
plenty of
in
mistakes my life.
this
I probably said things
debate here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Your career is over, dude.
in my life that I regret, but I own it. And so thank you all for being here. 5 seconds. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, James. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. I appreciate it. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I love having good debates, and I appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you.
Oh,
very
you
much.
haven't had one today, fucker.
We could go over to Rachel.
That
for
was
her
bad.
closing as well. The floor is yours, Rachel.
Very disappointing. We had no arguments from Brian whatsoever for why we should believe that feminism has been beneficial for women and children. He wasn't able to provide any data, any sort of measurement whatsoever to show that, hey, before feminism, this was what happened, and after feminism, this is what we got. We didn't get any of that. What we got was a whole bunch of logical fallacies and a person who doesn't understand what an argument is or how to debate. I'm going to list them off quickly, but join in the comments on the live stream if you caught more of these than I did. These were just some of the fallacies that we witnessed tonight from Brian. Non sequitur, argument from incredulity, straw man, ad hominem, category error, tu quoque fallacy, appeal to authority, argument ad populum. And on top of all that, we got moral outrage.
That's right.
We got appeals to your virtue and your emotions. And what we got from Brian ultimately was the best argument against feminism.
True.
Yeah.
He's a cunt.
Generally.
Base is emotionally incontinent, weak men who can't control themselves, who have violent outbursts, will insult you, will be angry and combative, and then try at the end of the debate to bring up your dead child and not even let you get through a debate in a professional manner addressing the topic.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did. Like, look at the shock. Like,
and bringing up your
surprised.
dead son, who you probably don't want to be thinking about in the closing of a professional debate that you're trying to get through. So when he says, do what you want, man, follow how you feel. Life's short. Do what you feel like, you know, just follow what you want.
What if you want to do political violence, Brian Shapiro? Would you support that?
I mean, he would, but
Life is short.
his argument is stupid because you can find horrible things. Exactly,
Don't do
exactly.
that. Find a strong, virtuous man in your life who knows how to hold boundaries and protect you, who can control his emotions, who can be the force of strength and stability that families need that we don't have anymore. Don't be a male feminist like this. Don't be this emotionally incontinent, just going all over on a tangent, unable to control your thoughts, unable to control your emotions, just spewing and vomiting emotional appeals to people.
Oh
in the
my
middle
God,
of a
she is
professional
killing
debate,
it.
She
bringing
really
up dead
is.
Children, bringing up your abusive ex-husband. Be the kind of person who can actually handle getting up here and having an argument, making an argument, sticking to the topic, controlling yourself. And the fact that I, a housewife from the Midwest with no college degrees, no professional training, am better able than him to do that, just shows you this is the kind of men that feminism has produced, and this is why society is all messed up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she completely killed him. She completely killed him.
She murdered him. She murdered him. She fucking killed him.
And I'm not even a fan of hers.
Oh my God. People told me this
I think
was
he's a
crazy. I
schmuck,
didn't think it
but
was
I'm
this
not a
crazy.
fan of hers.
Holy shit.
And
This
she
was
obliterated
easily
him.
the greatest woman-on-woman debate I have ever seen in my entire life. All right, I'll see you in the next one. That was fucking insane.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to throw that in. I completely forgot about it until I happened to scroll on a little clip of it on X. I thought it was in the video that I picked. Apparently I was wrong. But yeah, guys, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. I try not to be part of it. I'm not perfect, obviously. But I do try to be accurate and understanding at the very least. This guy, oh my God, he pops up at all the worst things, and he always embarrasses himself horribly. And again, she's not the best debater, and I'm not a huge fan of hers, but she absolutely killed it here, especially in the closing arguments. Exactly. And we all know Lord Nuxanor will lead us all to victory. That's it for me today, guys. I've run way over, but I really wanted to fit this one in there. Giggity. But until tomorrow, this has been